सर मूव आगे सर मूव आगे सर How many of you are interested in a rectangular shape?
Not interested, sir.
Say how many of you likes the rectangle shape? It is display on the presentation screen. I need some answers. Based on that, this discussion is going on. From by looking into the presentation, Windows Phone is the title, right? Uh, the background of that Windows Phone, it is created as rectangle shape, right? So how many of you likes this rectangular shape? Always. Your favorite shape of any object is rectangular. Always. So how this presentation slide look like, right? So the human tendency is that if it is a normal shape like a rectangular shape, always it is looking some odd in nature. See, sometimes rectangular is very good, sometimes it not. So all may not likes the rectangular shape objects in this world. For example, let's go with the vehicle car. It does not have any slants, bended shape. It is just like a rectangular shape. How many of you are going to like that car? The design of the car. See, Windows is like that only. So you, if you look into your desktop or laptop or your mobile phone, most of the time your mobile phone also a rectangular shape, width into height. If your laptop, it is again rectangular shape. If it is desktop, rectangular shape. But when you look into your laptop, the corners of the rectangular shape is bended, slightly bended. So you likes that bended curves rather than straight corners, right? That's the drawback of Windows Phone. That's why today it is not. It's a one of the reason, not exactly the same reason. It's a one of the reason the people are rejected to use the Windows Phone, because Windows, as the name tells, Windows is nothing but almost Windows shapes are rectangular in shape. So the activity views, the etc. what you are going to design in this Windows Phone is also a window like of the content. So most of you are not, may or may not like the shape which you have now, right? That's the one of the major reason. Another reason Windows is stop in the market is, since Android came into existence to reach the individuals quickly compared to iOS or Windows Phone. In the hot market of mobiles, iOS standard they have maintained. Android phones, they made the phones cheaper and available to the every end user. Whereas Windows Phone again it is a competitor exists with the market but unable to compete with iOS or Android phone. So in for all these reasons, Windows stopped manufacturing the Windows Phone and unable to compete the market, unable to capture the market and unable to hit the minds of the younger minds, those using mobile phones. So that's another drawback of Windows. So by looking into the slide itself, how many of you are going to like this particular slide, Windows Phone with backgrounds also and so, with rectangular corner is sharply edged corner, less in number. Suppose if suppose if I'm using the shape, if I'm using the shape from that to this, how it is looking like, right? Edge shapes are curved shapes, curved, bended. It is looking better compared to the previous shape. Yes, sir. So the Windows Phone mainly rejected because of the shapes which has the applications in the mobile. So we'll go through with all the features of Windows Phone. Anyhow, because it is there in your present syllabus, we have to go through that and understand, if possible, to take out the features and useful features from the Windows Phone. If possible, to implement them in Android or iOS, we can extract the good features, we can give up the bad feature from the Windows Phone. That's it. Windows Phone drawback is shapes. So we can leave it for the developer of Android or iOS, whether it to take to their application or not. Depends, right? So some of the introduction content of about the Windows Phone. Windows Phone is not the next iteration of the Windows mobile platform, but is its successor. See, before existence of Windows Phone, we were able to use the all window-based application like Windows operating system. Windows operating system of variant versions we use because of that successors. Because of that reason, Microsoft came with the mobile OS as Windows Phone. It is not the Windows Phone because of Windows Phone Microsoft is there. No, because of Microsoft, Windows Phone was exist in the market. So it has been built specifically for the Qualcomm Snapdragon processor family. They started using building their Windows Phone with Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. They started using as a processor for the Windows Phone 7. And see, observe here, it was launched in November 2010. Almost 10 year is getting over from today. So today, December 2020, so almost 10 years got it over about the major, two major revisions. The first one is no do. It was used for added copy and paste functionality. Nodo is the first version is was used for Windows Phone 7. The feature it was added as copy and paste functionality. Today nowadays, if we press keep little long time of any text present in the mobile phone, it pop-ups the window for copy pasting facility, right? The first version was released with this facility, no do. The second is Mango. The names which how they have given, it's a Mango. Added an update to be included mobile browser and multitasking for third-party developed applications. So these two variants was released during November 2010. So when you compare with the Windows Phone, iOS and Android have a passive or reactive dashboard for their applications, whereas Windows Phone 7 embraces a proactive approach with constantly updating tile. See, probably you might understand that a flash screen is available. Flash screen is available in your mobile phone, especially nowadays. The latest versions of the mobile phones, smartphones, after the mobile phone lock, every time screen is upgrading with a newer wallpaper, right? Such kind of the constantly updating tile here. The activity in Android, view in iOS, here in Windows Phone we call it as tile. So that tile is going to be updated frequently in the case of Windows Phone 7. Whereas in Android, most of that cases Android phone, but nowadays it is upgraded to the proactive approach also. So because Windows Phone 7 was launched 3.5 years after the iPhone, it has benefited from the lessons learned by the older revisions of iOS. So iOS, previously iOS and Android, static wallpapers were there on the home screen. So whereas Windows upgraded to the dynamic wallpapers, depending on the timeline dependent. So the Windows Phone came up with the newer version of the dashboard, which constantly updating the tile or activity or view. So that was the lesson learned from the iOS and Android. But it is opening a new channel for .NET developers to provide applications and its success. So .NET, with the help of the Silverlight framework of the .NET developers, Silverlight again it works like your Flash, Adobe Flash and Flex application. Adobe Flash and Flex meant to develop the Flash kind of the applications. In the same parallelly, the .NET developers uses the Silverlight technology to add the Flash content to the mobile devices. But always keep in mind that if you are going with Flash kind of the devices, sorry, applications or the activities, obviously it is a processing power consuming, and battery also it drains quickly because it uses the heavy graphical components. High definition resolution graphical components can be used because a flash is always heavyweight compared to the other normal activity screens. And we learn this Windows Phone by comparing other two. So Metro, so in iOS design, you have seen storyboard. Storyboard help us to design the content, right, in iOS. Whereas here, the term Metro is used to design the entire software stack. Metro is a design language. It is used in Microsoft developed. So iOS, that is storyboard. It was called as storyboard in iOS. Now in Windows it is called as Metro. So it is a design language around the Sego font family. Sego font family, which is supported for Windows Phone, style is different. You can look into if any Windows phone available in the market, just explore or you just go with YouTube Windows phone. So how it look like, what is the font style it uses, etc. and so on. It is pattern on international typographic style with content organized into local groups. Just you go with the YouTube content, Windows phone, Windows phone, uh, font style, Windows phone font style. So in Google, it is displaying the Windows 8 UI Sigo UI user interface. So in Windows 8, how it is displaying, in the same way it is displaying. So I will play a video. It illustrate about the Windows phone. Is that video is visible?
No, sir.
See how it look like. Font styles are little different. Immediately you cannot read the content of the font, right? Observe the icons, the font styles, icons of the application. See, observe all are rectangular, almost square shapes. See, observe. Font style is different. You can see, observe the tiles. Tiles representation of the application icons. See, observe. Observe, see, tiles representation. So what he was expected that he wants to be a different from the market style. So that's why he started using this rectangular and square shape symbols for the application. But it did not attracted the mobile users. Okay, this is one example of the Windows phone font style. So menus are replaced with panes of content which are grouped into hubs. If you look into the MS Word document, most of the menus are a square shaped panels. Each are put together, they framed as a menu. It is called as hub. The current versions of the Xbox 360 dashboard, interface and website, the next versions of the Windows operating system and the version of Visual Studio all implement the Metro style. So style, Metro style, which is used by Windows 8 onwards, the family of Windows, and Xbox 360 dashboard. You can just type Xbox 360 dashboard. how it look like, you can just see. Xbox 360. Just explore yourself, or I will share the screen now. Better, I'll share the screen. See, this is the style of Xbox 360 dashboard. See how it is looking. All the icons, most of the icons, square shape. See, almost square shaped only, or rectangular or square. See, observe in the shapes of the every application which it is displaying. Okay, this is the dashboard, Xbox 360 dashboard. Okay,
so examination, let them ask whatever it will be, don't bother about this.
so metro style will be used in the Windows operating new series. So Metro font for much of the interface and navigational elements. Metro fonts is like Sego family font style. It uses more text and images for navigating the interface as opposed to iconography. So rather than using the iconic symbols which was used in the iOS or the Android, it uses the images and the navigation. More on text and images it will be used. So it uses a freer flowing horizontal scrolling layout for most of its apps. Just now you seen Xbox 360 horizontal scrolling. That is how your gallery elements. Suppose gallery element in a filmic filmic preview. So when you scroll horizontally, it scroll left side from right to left or left to right. So the strong design and interface standpoint that Microsoft took is commendable, and attention to typography in particular is much appreciated by designer. So designer they were liked, but not the users. So one of the example of the screen of the Windows phone is look like here. Users just observe at the right part, two themes are there. One is dark theme. The left part of the screen is dark theme. Right part of the screen is light theme. So users can choose either a light or dark theme for their device and can choose from 10 different accent colors. In addition to the device theme, also the users are allowed to select the theme colors around the 10 different colors. So these are the good features we can take up and we can implement in the Android or iOS. If already there in the latest smartphone, means already copied the features of the Windows. You also can leverage built-in systems resources to bind specific accents and default color values to your UI elements. Right? Because of in advantage of .NET framework with C Sharp and Silverlight frameworks, uh, so you can build the most complex and sophisticated and user-friendly applications. By using a defined style in the Derby app, it is shown in the Derby app. Derby app is repeating here. This is the names of the name of the derbies, those who are participated in the Derby gamble. By using a default style in the Derby app shown here, when you update the theme on your device, the application automatically updates the styles respective that theme. Depending on the theme. Suppose if it is dark theme, if you apply, font color changes to the white. Otherwise, font color is same and theme is also same. You are unable to read the content properly. Right? If you select the white theme, automatically foreground color of the font is going to be readjusted. This feature was exists with Windows Phone. The another term which we are coining here is application bar. So application bar is similar to the action bar of your Android phone or UI tab bar of your iOS phone. So action bar or tab host, we are calling it as tab host or action bar in Android. Whereas in Windows phone, it is called as application bar. So where you can find all the applications present in your Android phone, that is tab host or application launcher, tab. In iOS, it is called as UI user interface tab bar. In Windows Phone, it is called as application bar. It can contain icon items. So usually icons are so again matrix size. Suppose if it is actually it is customized nowadays. So if you want to keep all the most of the application, your favorite application in a single window, usually you can select 5 by 5 means 25 icon you can place at the one single window. Similarly, in this Windows phone, it supports the 4 icon in a single tile bar. You can pin your the current view. Some common uses for items in the application bar are to pin the current view to the main tile bar. So here, don't confuse. Tile is nothing but a activity or the view in iOS, activity in Android, tile in Windows. So each tile you can place there is a four icon in Windows 4. So in Android you can place depends on the number of matrix format of that screen. See why they have kept 4 limited means because uh, according to Gazel's principles, as you know that the 5 properties of Gazel's principle, proximity, closure, right? So remaining another 5, total 5 principles are there. When you come across with the proximity and closure point of those things, suppose in between two icons, if you are clicking, it will calculate the nearest to the icon that a particular application is going to be launched. So based on Gazel's principle, it works in Android. So whereas here, to avoid the launching of, suppose if you want the launch of calculator, you So beside the calculator, if you clicked or touched the screen, that touching point is nearest to the another application like scanning. Instead of opening calculator, it is going to open the scanning application. To avoid all such difficulty which was exist with the iconic based phone, they were limited it for four titles, four icons for each tile. So one more programming content is used, XAML. You can create a global application bar in XAML stored in your application called as app.xaml file. See, global application bar in sense that, so depending on the location, the phone is going to be loaded the content for you. The same application is going to be appear distinctly depending on the location of the phone. And in XML for any page you want the global created bar, you must add a reference to its resource in the phone application page. So to invoke the global content, depending on the location of the device, you must be give a reference to a resource that will be present in the phone application page. Here phone application page is a manifest like resource are in Android, right? So we'll go with the discussion of some of the code content with global application bar, then you are able to clearly understand what it is. See, observe in the bottom of this screen, you can observe there is a back button, search button, and Windows button. So it's a global application bar. This one page specific application bar is going to be pop up depending on the application you launch. Let us look into the global application bar .txt file.
So I cannot let go of my mouse also. So here you can you able to see my cursor here? You will monitor. Okay. So we do 4 and without 4 you have written. Here also need to 6. You have written 6, you write 6. So then here you are not getting. Wherever you got 6, you write the solution.
Is the notepad is visible?
Another one is without
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is the XML content of the phone Derby app application. Just you observe. Observe. To begin with, you are defining the XML language for defining the phone application. It begin with the root tag phone. The name of that phone, the application page of that phone is phone application page. The class you defining X colon class, that is Gravity Works Derby app. We were defining it for Windows Phone 7 WP7. The page is main page, means first page. When you open the application, this first page is going to be loaded. So XMLNS namespace is used. Microsoft.com Windows Framework FX. It was used the 2006 XML presentation, and the another namespacing is used for the class is XAML, and the phone namespace is used Microsoft.phone.controls. Assembly is Microsoft phone. Then for the shell, it is going to be operated is shell controls. Then the controls is phone controls. So all the namespace needs to be defined before interacting with the Windows phones. So assembly equal to Microsoft dot phone dot controls. All the controls related is going to be defined in this assembly. As you are aware that .NET programming you are learning in the C Sharp .NET, especially now it is started the part B program of your application. There is an assembly files. Probably you might heard about assembly. What is assembly? It is a system related files. Environmental setup files are defined in that. So you need to be include before using the any Microsoft products. So, and another namespace for expression which uses the blend framework. Then the Microsoft markup compatibility which used the Microsoft markup compatibility ignorable with the option D. Design width is 480 and design height is 800. So for this width and height, you are defining the visibility. Then font family default you are using static resource. Phone font family is normal. Font size uses static resource. Phone font size is normal. Which one? Sego family is used normally. Foreground is phone foreground brush. Depending on the theme which you selection, dark or the light theme, depending on that phone is going to be foreground color is going to be set. Supported orientation set for portrait and the orientation is portrait. The shell system tray is visible if you make it true it is visible, otherwise false. Application bar is loaded by my global application bar. So in this application app.xml resources, the resources you are defining, the shell which uses the application bar as key value is my global app bar is visible is true. You are going to set the true. Is menu enabled also true. So shell is loaded with by appearing the my global app bar. Similarly, icon URI you are going to set the default icon launcher how it is there in the Android. It is going to set the Microsoft icon bar button. Then loading the application dot bar dot menu items. The menu item is menu item name of that menu item is menu item which you will be given here. In this way you can define the main page. The using C sharp you are going to call the main page here. In the main page you are initializing all the component necessary to accept the user inputs, and you are going to load all the resources that will be used by that application by calling this dot loaded equal to new rooted event handler main page loaded. Then when you call that load application bar, it is going to be initialize all the values default value which is linked with your home page. And depending on the click event which you are going to generate, it will call that menu item. Based on the menu item, that event you are going to handle. This is the one of the simple example of a global application bar.
Okay. That is the reason I told you some of the foundation also we are making here. This is the introduction.
How it look like in this slide. So global application bar is present at the bottom of the Derby app. When you click on a specific, the relevant menu item is going to be popped up at the right side. You can see. So in the next class, we are going to discuss the another important Subtitle topic of your Windows phone is tiles. Tiles. We will discuss it in the next class. Now I am sharing the quiz link. Complete the quiz. Those who are attending the class only complete the quiz. Parallel, I will take the attendance also. Thank you.